Anthony, I'm feeling like I want to go on vacation today. A little bit all-inclusive
Uh,
resorts, other stuff too. I don't know.
Put your nose to the grindstone and work, Glenn.
Yeah, I don't do that enough. You're right.
I'm Anthony. Welcome to No Vacancy Live. That's my friend Glenn.
You're watching the #1 show in hospitality.
Hey everybody, welcome to No Vacancy Live, your favorite show in hospitality. Well, I know I'm taking a big, bold move there, but we got Anthony Melchiori, so that's got to make it so. Even if you're not so fond of me, Glenn Hausman, how you doing out there, buddy?
Glenn, how do you know it's their favorite show when it's not even your favorite
I
show?
know. That's actually my fourth favorite show. What can I do? We're trying to improve the life.
Well, don't you do every podcast in the hospitality business?
No, not every one. There are some good ones out there.
You know, I got to tell you, I'm very impressed that you can rock a short sleeve shirt with a collar.
Hey, thanks. I'm very excited that we're in that type of season right now. And I got to tell you, it's pretty humid out there today. And we are at that point here in the Hausman family at the Hausman Resort Pool Club Smokehouse and Spencer Brewery that, we have this fight every spring, summer, like who's going to turn on that air conditioning first? And I will tell you, Anthony, not me. No. So I'm wearing my shorts. I'm barefoot.
Why not you? Dude, my air conditioning's on March 1st.
Well, you also open your pool March 15th, but that doesn't,
My air conditioning right now is on 67 degrees. I just turned it up. And when I wear short sleeve collared shirts?
Yeah.
Never.
In Hawaii?
Yeah. I don't own one. I've never owned one, and I never wore one.
All right. Well, I think
I don't have the cool factor that you have.
Well, what are you going to do? I was going to say that there's no way that I could be able to do that. Hey, Daniel. Yeah, we are live today. We're rating on our guests, so we'll see what's going on. But Anthony, why not? Well, we have a few minutes. You've been out. You've been about. You've been maybe filming a little show called Hotel All-Stars or something like that. And you got Show Up. Yeah, the 5 steps of getting out of your own way. Go to shop.anthonymelchiori.com. Shop.anthonymelchiori.com.
All right, so I'll give you a little sneak preview of Hotel All-Stars making the cut. I'll announce at the hospitality show on the 28th.
And that event is June 27th through 29th at the Venetian. Go to the hospitality show. Get your tickets now.
Yeah. And I will, hopefully you will be there, and hopefully you'll be part of the announcement.
I will be there. I will be in Vegas.
Yeah. And we just did 2 shows. We did one at the Breakers and we did one at Margaritaville.
Oh, cool.
And it's a competition show to get people jobs in the hospitality industry. Mm-hmm. So we show the beauty of the hotel. We show the beauty of our industry. And I have shot way over 200 hours of television over 10 years. And I'm telling you right now, not because it's a new show, these are the best shows I've ever put in the can. So We're editing now. We're putting music over it. So the team's working hard to do that. But I got the old band back together, and it was so much fun. I'll be posting pictures online the next week or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6.
Oh, there are a couple of behind-the-scenes shots, too, that you could find right now on your pages.
Yes, and you can go to, if you want to keep up with the show, you can go to Hotel All-Star Making the Cut Instagram. We're starting to put social media out there. I brought a social media person with me, so I have thousands of hours of footage and pictures that I'll be editing. They'll be editing and putting up. So, looking forward to it. And but it's the best shows we ever put in the can. We have crying, we have laughing, we have great shows, we have just great hotels, and I'm so fortunate. I'll tell you, being on set with my old team, and they're all very busy. They're all it's so hard to get them, but we were all able to get back on set, and it was so much fun. And I know a lot of people want me to get back to Hotel Impossible, but listen, I chased enough bed bugs and yelled at enough people. It's time to showcase this industry and get people jobs in the industry.
Yeah, and this is a great way to do it. I can't wait to see what that final product is going to be like. And while we're talking about stuff that we're up to, if you guys go to hotelbusiness.com right now, I've got a great panel going on at 1:00 with Anna Scosa-Fava, the VP of Extended Stay Brands of Choice Hotels, Ron Pohl, President, of World Hotels, Matt Schwartz, the Sage Hospitality CTO, Peter Pally, SVP of Commercial with IHG, Kim Twiggs of DirecTV, Kristen Hanicha with Director of Research with Parks Associates. That should be a lot of fun.
And what is it?
all-star
What is
panel.
it? Is it a podcast or it's a panel? What is it?
No, it's a webinar kind of thing under the hot topics. It's going to be about self-directing the hotel room experience, all the technology and stuff that goes in there. But I'm really excited, Anthony, that we're finally going to get to see each other again. It's been so long at that hospitality show, the hospitality show in Vegas, you know?
No, I'm actually pretty good with that senior, so I don't remember. I'm very comfortable in that senior. Matter of fact, I may skip the whole thing just so I don't see you. You don't want me to tell you what I thought you said when you said about the panel. It sounded completely different than what you said. But so since the moment's gone,
I thank you. I appreciate that, and hopefully it'll just go into the ether, and we won't have to be seen. But Anthony, listen, yeah, go on.
So when I do my show, when we get other episodes, we're doing it in a way, and we'll announce it on 28th. That it's never been done before. So, but when we do, I'll have you on set, and I will tell you, and I'll warn you.
Yeah.
Me on set is different than the person you know, and it's so funny because I went right back to that person. I went right back to that person. I was like, oh,
great.
This person is so annoying.
wait until you see me, my on-set persona. I mean, even if I'm not doing anything, I will have a major attitude while I go and get everyone coffee. You know,
actually, our day players, as they call it, like we have our crew, and then we have our basically our PA, a production assistant. Mm-hmm. She was the most wonderful person I've ever met on set, and I will always hire her.
Yeah.
And our second cameraman and the grip guy, who was his son, who I never met, were unbelievable and wonderful people. So our set was truly. I mean, I have pictures. I'll start showing you pictures, but I have pictures of me. All I did the entire show, I was kind of sick behind the scenes, but when I was feeling good, all I did was kiss people.
Oh,
that's me and one of my cameramen. He is the most sought after cameraman in the country.
That's a great picture.
Isn't that a great picture?
Yeah.
And you can see how much I love him. And then this gentleman is our sound guy, Enrique. And he has 2 Grammys for working with Enrique Iglesias and Ricky Martin.
Yeah.
And this is us together. And I'm so happy here, though.
That's cool. Well, another great picture. I love it.
We have so many pictures. And I'm so glad I had somebody there. Because we have, obviously, they're taking pictures all day long. But it's not the same as having somebody
that's focused on that. Yeah.
This is us at Margaritaville doing Fins Up that you may have seen on social media.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah.
I tell you, it was one of those moments where you manifest it and you kind of really think about it a lot. You think about being on set with your crew again.
Yeah.
And it's the first time I'm saying this out loud, but and just that we had that moment in time, it was surreal beyond words. It was just like I couldn't get enough of them. I couldn't, like, you know me, I go to my room. Like when I was feeling okay, because I did get sick on the set. I wasn't feeling well. But when I was feeling well, I sucked up every moment, went to lunch, dinner, whatever I could. It was fun.
Yeah. I'm so happy for you. That sounds great.
You're going to be on set next time we do a show.
I can't wait till the next time. That's going to be an awful lot of fun. And I'm really excited to see Anthony in show mode over there. I'm going to wear some bulletproof gear, get a Kevlar vest just in case.
No, it's funny. Crazy. I only cursed. Well, me and my partner, the production president, I probably told him to shut that F up a couple times. But besides that, I only kind of got a little nasty, I should say, once because I wasn't feeling well and somebody was doing something I didn't really appreciate. Not one of my crew members.
Right.
And I probably said something. And pretty loud that they heard. No, it's no oops. Listen, I say what I mean what I say. But apparently I was out of it because I wasn't feeling well. So I was a little I don't remember saying it, but apparently everybody said I said it.
Well, I guess you got to go with the group then at that point.
Yeah, but I tell you, it was such. But what was great about? I'll tell you what was great about. We have another minute.
Yeah. Oh, we have plenty of time.
There's guest name here. I'll tell you.
No, I think I think we're probably going to have to scratch it because we're not going to be on long enough to talk to them unless he shows up in another minute or two. Go on.
I'll tell you what was great about it.
Yeah.
The show is taking people, like I told Dana, our casting person,
Yeah.
I said, our show is based on deer in the headlights. I don't want somebody that's vacationed at the Breakers. I don't want somebody that's worked as a waiter or somebody in the hotel business at a 5-star hotel and wants another job.
Mm-hmm.
I want somebody that is not been involved in hospitality or these wonderful hotels. And there were scenes, and you'll see it once it's cut together and put out on air. There was a young lady, and she was crying in the middle of the competition. It's based on competition. And I said, and it's not making fun of anybody. I don't yell at people, nothing like that. But I hold people to a standard. Mm-hmm. So in the middle of the competition, she starts crying. So I come out because I'm watching monitors, and I'm watching them in the competition. So, and I'm talking to the audience as I'm watching the monitors. So I ran out there and I said, "Why are you crying?" And she said, "Because I care so much about getting this right, because it was a surprise party for a teenage girl. And it was a real surprise party. And we had to get it done on time." Mm-hmm. And she goes, "I just didn't realize I would care this much." Aww. I mean, that's the soundbite of the show.
Yeah.
And then there was one person, and again, I'm giving away too much, but there was one person that I will just tell you, when you see somebody and you immediately make judgments, whether it's their hair color or their tattoos or whatever. And she said something so beautiful, and I won't repeat it here, but she said something so beautiful at the end of the show. And it's just like she really wants to be in hospitality, and she didn't realize how wonderful this industry is. So, on the 28th, man, I'm putting down the gauntlet to the hospitality industry. And if they're serious about getting people in the in the business, they will support this show. And but for me to say it's the best show we've ever put in the can, mm-hmm. I may have missed it, but I don't think I did.
Yeah, I hear you. Yep. All right. So, sorry, it looks like the guest is not going to be able to make it today. So let me just let's just move on. We'll talk for a little bit longer and call it a day. But I think the whole point of the show that you're putting together now is really reflective of the moment we're at in the hospitality industry, that we need to look elsewhere outside our business in order to show people the excitement and the love that can be had by being part of this amazing industry, right?
Yeah, and it's not only about that. One of the things that came out of it that was part of why I got into the show was kind of what you said. That was definitely what you said, but also we're dealing with people not showing up on time. We're dealing with people not showing up. We're dealing with people not worrying about their appearance. And then we judge them, and then we kind of we set them aside. And we just said, "Oh, kids today." Well, all those things happened on my show, and I held them accountable, and I taught them a lesson. And I said, "Why?" And I told them the importance. I'll give you an example. There was one moment when we were doing the competition, and they did a great job, but we didn't make it on time on one of the competitions. And I said, "You know what? What happens when you don't make it on time? The person that's waiting for that room is now in the lobby. And what happens? Now they got to deal with food and beverage, and they're maybe going to comp them dinner. Mm-hmm. Then we have to deal with the front desk, as the front desk is dealing with other things. And now we put pressure on the front desk. And then we put pressure on housekeeping. So by not doing our job, we just affected the entire operation. Mm-hmm. And, we had 4 out of 6 people. There's 3 competitors on each show. 4 out of the 6 people showed up late.
What?
You're coming to see me. You're coming to do a TV show. The producer's been nothing but nice to you. They said show up at 7 a.m. I've never met these people. I've never seen these people. Again, it's like Hotel Impossible. I don't see anything. Matter of fact, I literally went into the Breakers with my eyes closed as my producer brought me through my suite, and kept my eyes closed until they called to action the next morning so I wouldn't see what the Breakers look like. Because believe it or not, I've never been to the Breakers. So we do it same kind of reality shows we do Hotel Impossible. Mm-hmm. It's real. So you're coming to a guy that has a reputation of being a little intense. You're coming to make an impression, and you show up late. And 4 out of the 6 showed up late. But I can discount these people or tell you why it's important to show up on time.
Right. And telling people why you show up better on time is good for them to hear it, and probably makes for better TV in the long run when you're trying
Well,
to get
well, it,
into the
it,
business.
it, it definitely helped our show, but it's more about what I got out of the show was as senior managers or even junior managers, it's our job to find the spark and to light it on fire for them.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to tell you there are going to be several people on my show that aren't going to get in hospitality and they should probably just move on. But we hit a couple sparks and a couple of people were late, but we hit some sparks
Yeah.
and it was magic. For
Good.
me, this is the best show we've ever put in the can is beyond. Like, could you ever imagine I would say that? I mean, it's beyond.
I
And
mean,
so-
to be honest, every time I want to tell everyone a little confession. Every time we get off the air, he says exactly the same thing every day. Oh wait, no, that wasn't you at all.
No. I was like, why are we
Yeah.
still doing this friggin' podcast? No,
Yeah.
and actually, let's backtrack, right?
Yeah.
The reason this show came to fruition is because of
Mhm.
you,
Yeah, thanks.
because of the connections I
Yeah.
made because of you.
Mhm.
Whether it be the Breakers, I don't even know how I met Paul, but it's probably because
Paul's
of
a
you.
great dude. He was a
Um,
guest on our show. I wish our backstage producer
Yeah.
was here today. She'd look it up.
So
Yeah.
Tamara at Margaritaville, Chip Rogers, all these people had a stake in my show, and I don't think I would know. Maybe I would have known Paul without you because I think I knew
Yeah.
Paul before you.
I feel like you
But-
did.
But every like this whole show came out because I knew you. Now it's really important for everyone to understand that me and Glenn made a decision to do the show. We were consistent with the show.
Mhm.
You know, I'm reading a book right now and it's talking about consistency. And one of the things that you are and I am is consistent. And we've been consistent with the show, so we have credibility. And
Mhm.
because of the show, because of our consistency, because of how much work and effort we put into it, you a lot more than I do. I have been able to get this part of my career, this show, going. And I don't know if the show happens without your connections, without me knowing you.
Oh, thank you. That's nice of you to say. But I think that's the larger lesson for everybody is how important it is to just be out there, right? Whatever your field of choice is, and build those relationships over a number of years. And Anthony, I wouldn't have been able to introduce you to those people 10, 15 years ago, right? Because it's kind of like the culmination of an entire career to be able to get to that kind of a point, right?
Yeah, and absolutely, 100%. And then during that, I made the most of those connections.
Yeah.
I got on, and I told you this. I got on a plane,
Yep.
and the person I got on the plane to see has no idea that I went
Just for the
1,000
meeting.
miles just for a cup of coffee for 15 minutes,
Yep.
and that person still thinks I was at the convention, and I wasn't.
Yep.
I just happened to go get a cup of coffee, and we basically sealed the deal.
Yep.
But you know what I did, Glenn?
Yeah. You showed up. That's right. You got out of your own way and made it happen.
And you know, and I double down
Mm-hmm.
on what I've said. I say to my kids and what I say to you and what I say to
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah.
No one gives a effing shit. You have to care. And then when you care, I'll be honest with you, when I was shooting the show, I started seeing people that have been friends of mine all of a sudden pop back up and all of a sudden saying good luck and congratulations and wonderful. Well, I've had a lot of content out there the last couple of years. You only start reconnecting with me when I have a TV show.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what
Like,
happens.
That irritates me.
Yeah, as it
Matter of
should.
fact, stop connecting to me. If you only connect them to me to congratulate me on my TV show, like don't. Like I have a lot of content out there. Why does it take that? And you really see the difference in people. Like for 2 years, I didn't want to do a show, and then for 2 years, I was trying to get a show,
Mhm.
and then I said I'm going to do it this way.
Right.
And it really, it's just like you shouldn't need. I don't know. It's just weird. It's just weird. It's just weird how people react to different things, and I don't understand why.
Yeah.
But listen, I'm very happy with or without my show. I will be very excited if this helps people come into the industry. And as you know, I have hundreds of stories of people coming in the industry because of our shows. But this is a time and moment if we as an industry, and you understand, but the people understand more when I can talk about it on 28th, the industry's got to support the show. The show doesn't happen. And if they don't support the show, then we're not serious about real change.
That's right.
Because whatever money it costs to support this show, it's pennies, it's cents, it's nothing compared to what we're going through as an industry. The funny thing is, the day I was on the set, the first day I was on set, an article came out, I think, in the New York Times, Wall Street Journal, that said the number one industry that's not back in full employment yet is the hospitality industry. We're still missing 400,000 employees.
Yeah.
So if we're not serious about, sorry about that. If we're not serious about the show, I keep hitting it with my foot. If we're not serious about the show, then we're not serious about bringing this industry back.
Yeah.
Because what I say is, this industry is really good at retreading people. We get some people that are good and we retread them. Instead of getting exceptional people that want to be doctors, lawyers, teachers, firemen, police officers, and convince them to come into our industry and have extraordinary people, we take people who are average or good and we do retreads.
Right.
And what I told these kids on the show, and what I tell everybody, if you want to be around average or good, you probably don't want to sit next to me. I want to be around extraordinary people. And if you're not around extraordinary people, when you fall, they don't pick you up. I got sick, and I'll talk about it, but I got really sick to the point where, they wanted to bring me to the hospital, and I yelled at them.
Yeah.
And my team rallied. And my team, like, you wouldn't even know when I was on set or whatever that I was sick. They rallied. I didn't worry about anything.
Right.
Because I was around extraordinary people. If you're not around extraordinary people, you're going to wind up average. And who the hell wants to be average?
Yeah, for sure. And the older I've gotten, the more wise that I've become to that whole notion of trying to surround yourself with people that are smarter than you and all of that. Because that's where you really start to learn, and people hold you to a higher standard. If you're around people that are not at the level you want to get to, you're going to be in a different kind of headspace, I think.
Listen, if you have to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You have to be uncomfortable to make sure you show up on time. You have to be uncomfortable. I just did a podcast with Mark Summers, and the first time I met him, I was on time. I was 15 minutes early, but he was earlier than me. When I was at this podcast studio, I was there an hour earlier, and I was with actually Sarah and my assistant, Kalindra. And they said, "Why are we here so early?" I said, "Because I'm not letting him beat me again." And I opened the door for him to his podcast studio. I was an hour early. And I wouldn't have been an hour early if he didn't have such a high standard for being early. I beat him by 45 minutes. And he just made me better.
Yep.
Being around people who are consistently grinding, you want to be uncomfortable. If you're comfortable, you're not learning. And I will tell you, if you're on my set, you're probably going to be a little uncomfortable. If you're not good. If you're average, you're going to be very uncomfortable.
Yeah, I will tell you. I will. Shoot, the thought just totally left my mind on that one.
I will tell you that I had the same experience with you, Anthony, when you were on. No, nothing like that. That was coming.
I don't. Seriously, I don't. I totally.
Okay. Well, that's my whole point of not wanting to work with you, because you forgot your thought because you're average.
I know. It happens every 2-3 years. What are you going to do? Hey, Roderick is saying, hey, you made me think of the quote. You are the average of the 5 people you interact with most. Great point to surround ourselves with those that are working hard to be great. Yeah, absolutely. Roderick, I know we're trying to get you on the show soon, so we'll get that scheduled.
But if Glenn's average,
cybersecurity.
He wouldn't.
Oh yeah,
So,
go on.
So let's read a chapter or a paragraph of the book.
All right, read a couple of paragraphs, and then we'll get out of here for the day.
We all try to conform to society. We all try to get along with our families and classmates. We all try to work together harmoniously. But if you stop being authentic, you're not going to enjoy what you're doing. Authenticity is one of the most important aspects of showing up for yourself, and that's why it's one of my 5 steps. I will tell you this, without giving away too much of the show.
Yeah.
Like I said, there was a young lady that you are immediately going to judge. And she said something, and I'll say what she said. She said to me, "Thank you for reading my cover," or something like this. "Thank you for reading the cover of my book." Wait, no. "Thank you for looking at the cover, but reading my book."
Oh, that's cool.
And she had a soul that was so deep and beautiful and kind and caring, completely tatted up, purple hair, just like, okay, you're like, and I didn't really judge her. I really didn't. I was just, because people like that, I'm just like, okay. And the person that, like, I trusted my team so much. If I didn't trust my team
Yeah.
to cast the show, and Dana specifically, I would have thought about judging her. I didn't even think about it. I was like, okay, these are people they casted. There's a reason. Like, it wasn't even a thought. If I didn't trust that person, I'd have been like, who the hell is this and why are they here? But I just went with it. And that's the show. It's like, be authentic, and listen, you may not be able to work at the One and Only or the Breakers with purple hair and a tattoo on your neck. I don't know. I don't know what their standard is. But you certainly can work at Margaritaville. You can certainly work at a lot of different places. But the second you don't show up as yourself,
Yep.
you're performing, and we all perform, right? But when you have to perform every day, 8-10 hours a day, it's exhausting.
Yeah.
I see you do it. I see, like,
I'm just thinking when I was at the NYU Hospitality and Investment Conference last week, I'm still recovering from
I
that.
watched it. I watched you do all those little sound bites
Yeah.
that you do, all those little videos.
Yeah.
I watched a couple of them, and I said to him, I said, I feel so bad for them because like when I'm on stage or I'm video or whatever, it's just a transition of me and the camera. With you, it's a full stop, a full high, a full stop.
Oh yeah.
That must be so exhausting.
After a couple of days, it is. And go check out LinkedIn feed, novacancynews.com for all those great interviews. I got so many, Anthony. They're still going to be rolling out for another week.
So can you announce here on the show why you stopped doing these in-person shows with me? Admit to everyone why you're doing them. You're not doing any.
Yes, because when Anthony renegotiated his contract, he refused to be seen in the same room as me. So we're still working that through. Also, I think we're finding that while I still love doing some on location stuff with you when we could get there, when I go to these conferences, bringing all that gear, setting it up, having one guest over, it's not as efficient and it's not necessarily what people are looking for when I go to these kinds of events, I know, but if we're still there. In fact, even though we won't be doing any full No Vacancy live shows while at the hospitality show, June 27th through June 29th at Venetian Palazzo, you and I'll record some stuff, some shorter form stuff. So that'll be fun.
Yeah, and I think the World Series of Poker is in town when we're there.
Oh, dude, remember when we did that interview last year?
Do you think we can get him again?
I'll reach out to those people. That would be fun. That was a lot of fun. That show.
You have their contact information? Do I?
No, it's a person that I worked with, a public relations individual from.
So
Vegas
can you?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, don't forget.
No, I won't. And if I do, you'll remind me.
So there's a $200 or $300 World Series of Poker small event buy-in. I think I'm gonna find time to play.
Yep. Cool. All right. Let's get out of here.
What's going on in your world, Glenn? What are you learning? What's new in you? I know we got to go. We have one more minute.
I know. I'm going. I'm actually tomorrow. I'm going up after we do our show, which will be live at 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I'm going out to the Camelback Resort up in the Poconos. I'm taking my boys away for a couple of days.
I thought we were doing the show from there.
No, we're not going to do a full show from there. I'm just going to take my kids away for a couple of days and go ziplining and stuff like that.
I thought, what do you call it? Are we interviewing somebody from there?
We can get them on when we get back, like a full length kind of.
I thought David said, would you guys want to go to Camelback? Remember there was an email?
Yeah. I don't know.
What happened?
I don't know. I'm going with my kids.
Are they hooking you up?
Well, partially. Yeah. So we'll see. I'm looking forward to doing the zip line. I want to get a video of me on a zip line.
Did you ever do a zip line before?
I have.
I did the longest one in America, which is in Hawaii.
That's pretty cool. I did actually last summer when I was in Hawaii. We did a zip line course. It was like 10 different ones. And the boys and I went and we did that. But the most fun zip line I ever did, and I have done the one at Camelback, they may have new ones for all I know, was downtown Las Vegas. You get on the top of that giant slot machine. You go all the way down, the main drag over there. That was a lot of fun.
To me, those zip lines are like parasailing. As soon as you get on there, it gets slow and boring.
Right. It's like the first few seconds. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Great.
so boring.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you, my friend. And
Thank you.
in case you don't remember,
Yeah, hold on. Show up. The 5 steps of getting out of your own way. Available right now at Amazon.com. But if you go to shop.anthonymelcury.com, he will sign it for you. And you'll have the pleasure of making him go to the post office.
and I'm telling you, yesterday I went to the post office with like 100 copies,
Yeah.
and they look at me like they want to stab me. And but I enjoy doing it. I told you before, I enjoy signing it, I enjoy the whole process. But I will tell you, and I haven't had a lot of time lately because I've been so busy, but
Yeah.
it's really cathartic, and it's really
Yeah.
fun to connect that way. And
Best.
I really enjoy people saying I have bad handwriting, so it's great.
Yeah, that's great. Man, my handwriting sucks too. But
Oh my God, the funniest thing in the world
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah.
So my friend's reading a book, and he's across the street, and I go over across the street. He goes, "Come here, I got to show you something."
Mhm.
So there's a paragraph, and it said, the paragraph is, "Don't sweat about the small stuff. Upset about the small stuff." In that paragraph, there's a typo.
Oh no.
And I said to him, I said, "Well, the reason I put it there was because it's in that paragraph, and I want to see if you caught it." And he goes, "Hey, that was genius." He said, "Only if it was true, it would be genius."
Well, at least you got a good cover story right now.
Yeah, but
right?
the way it works with printing online, that as soon as you order my book, they print it so we can edit it.
Oh,
all the
that's pretty
time.
cool. Yeah.
So so you can always get it out with a fresh. So I can update it, add a chapter, whatever I want.
Oh, that's pretty cool. So it makes those first editions even more valuable in
Yeah, matter of fact, maybe that's what I'll
2033.
do. Instead of writing a second book, maybe I'll just add to the second
Yeah.
to the first book.
Yeah, I love it. And one thing we do is we add new content every day to our audio feed. Find it on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, SoundCloud, wherever you get your audio shows. We are there. And if you happen to be taking that commute, walking that dog, getting some exercise right now and listening to us, why not watch us sometime? You can find us on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, and more. And find all back shows at novacancynews.com. Speaking of past shows, I got word while we were on air that 4/14/21 is the magic show to catch Paul Breslin of the Breakers. 4/14/21.
Say it again. What? Oh! I got you.
Yep,
I was
the
like, what
Breakers
hell
with
are you
Paul.
talking about? Okay, so if you were 9 years old and I was 9 years old back in the day, because we're about the same age, when I said, "Hey, show me walking a dog," what would you show me?
I would show you a yo-yo trick.
It's so great that we have these references, but nowadays kids, because everybody watch different shows, they don't have to say.
No.
Okay, so let's do a test.
Yeah.
If I say you're a meathead, what show is that from?
All in the Family.
If I say address the ball, what show is that from?
The Honeymooners.
If I say, hey, let's go to a chocolate factory, what show does that remind you of?
Let's go to a chocolate factory. I mean, the Willy Wonka movie.
Work the line of the chocolate factory.
Oh, I Love Lucy.
It's unbelievable. To the Moon, Alice. Honeymooners,
Mhm.
and it's just amazing that we all have those same references because we all watch the same shows.
What you talking about, Anthony?
What you talking about, Willis?
There you go.
It's
Different
we,
strokes.
we all watch the same exact show. So these people, like, whether it be Alyssa Milano,
Mhm. Who's the boss?
from Who's the Boss, or Tony Danza from Taxi and Who's the Boss, or like, we all know these people. Like, today, we can have 10 hit shows on Netflix and on all Hulu and everything else, and walk right past us. We have no idea who they are.
No, that is absolutely correct. So, what are you going to do? But the good news is you guys know who we are. So make sure you download those shows, like, follow, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. And remember, you got one life, so blaze on and
Be kind to yourself.
see you tomorrow.